Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Canadian Women of the Outdoors. We are really switching it up this time. Some people reached out and asked when I was going to do an episode about myself, which I was never planning on doing, but people were like, well, like, how did you, like, where did this all come from? Like, do you hunt and fish? And it's like, well, if you see my social media, obviously I do, but I mean, I guess where it all came from, being from Burlington at all. So I asked one of my really good friends who I've known for a number of years and also have been on some fantastical adventures and near death defying experiences again. So my good friend, Miss Christina Graham, is going to take the stage as the host tonight. And she's going to be the one asking me the questions, which is super weird because I'm not used to taking the hot seat. So this is going to be really weird. Because I can only imagine what's going to come out, literally. So buckle up your seats. If it's the morning drive, grab a coffee. If it's late at night, grab a tea or a wobbly pop, an adult beverage, whatever you want. But now I'm going to turn this over to Miss Christina Graham, and she's taking it from here.
Yes, we're flipping the script today. So fun. Can't wait. Oh,
You're used to flipping cards. Now you're flipping a script and turning the questions on me. This is weird.
This is great, is what this is.
Oh, yeah. We'll go with that. People don't know me yet to say that. I've just been the voice behind the microphone, and now they're going to actually get to know where this craziness came from.
Exactly.
Good Lord. Good Lord.
I have stories.
Oh, I mean, they're not all like risking the life on a side by side, but that's a story for another day.
That'll be another episode. We'll do that another time.
That's the Bruce County Christmas special.
The burning question, though, people want to know is like, what got you started, where you got started, how you got started.
In regards to like hunting, fishing, or this?
Fishing, like, yeah. What would like earliest memories, that sort of thing? Like, what to hunt?
So, well, fishing. My grandparents, from the time I was a little kid, I mean, I grew up in Burlington, Ontario, city as can be, concrete. But my grandfather, he had a boat, and him and my Nana used to cart me all over Ontario on weekends in the summer. And when I say all over Ontario, I mean all over Ontario. I've been to some lakes as a child. I can't remember them now, but some of my greatest fishing memories are there. And we would be out there every weekend at a different national park or whatever, camping, fishing. My grandfather actually, my very first fishing rod, it was red. That's why I remember it was red. And he gave it to me when we were cottaging. They actually rented a cottage in Buckhorn Lake.
I think so.
So, and I actually, my first memory of ever catching a fish is on Buckhorn Lake, and it was with this red rod, and it was a bass, and it was my grandfather got me this rod, and I was hooked. And I mean, then I got into hockey. I started playing competitive hockey for years, and I really focused on that. But I mean, when you're a goalie and your knee gets injured after a while, you kind of can't play anymore. And I around the time I quit hockey, I was living in Peterborough on the Otonabee River. So I kind of got back into fishing because the river was right there. So I was like, well, I'm going to take up something because I can't play sports no more because I'm broken. And coaching I wasn't thinking about coaching at that time. But yeah, so I've fished for as long as I can remember. Hunting, totally different story. I'm a late bloomer hunter. I only found out after I got my hunting license that my father and grandfather had their hunting licenses and things like that. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like, you guys didn't think to share this with me. But I was dating a girl quite a long time ago, and her father actually hunted, and he took me out for a couple sits, and I was like, well, I want to do this. So he kind of started me, and then obviously it didn't work out with this girl, and our good friend Tara.
Yeah, Tara.
Our good friend Tana Banana, Miss Tara Bailey. She actually introduced me to Lorianne of Canadian Sportswomen's Society and said, hey, so you're new into hunting, you want to get into hunting, check out the Canadian Sportswomen's Society. And my first event with Canadian Sportswomen's Society, just to meet Lorianne and go from there, was the beautiful Perch Palace.
I remember that well.
Yeah, that was the first time I met you, and look where we are now. It was quite the journey. I tell you what, you guys were good at musical trivia.
Yeah.
That was probably the highlight of that trip, but still a memorable one. But then from there, I did her intro to turkey hunting course. And then I got all my PAL and stuff like that. And she's actually the first person I went hunting with. There was a big goose hunt for ladies that Steel Shot Guides and Canadian Sportsmen's Society put on, and I went there for that. And then the following year, she took me out turkey hunting for the first time, her and Jamie. And that's probably still my very first turkey hunt with her and Jamie is probably still one of my favorite turkey hunts, absolutely, to this day. Even though we didn't get a bird, it is probably still my favorite turkey hunts. Even when LA tells the story to this day, I still giggle and laugh like it was such a good time. But yeah, so that's kind of, I fished all my life, hunting later on, but got in it. And LA has been such a huge help getting me into that. And again, I talked to her about that on her episode, is she's been fundamental in helping me become the hunter I am today.
A lot of firsts with Lorianne for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure you've been there too. Like, not just me. There's a whole slew of people that have had their first with LA.
And always memorable.
And LA, if you're listening, like, try not to cackle.
Can't you just hear cackling right now?
I can hear the cackle in my head. She's probably like, oh, these girls.
Oh, so you're more into, started out into fishing, and that's kind of how I knew you to begin with. I was like, we went ice fishing together, started fishing after that. I don't think we've done any hunting together, you and I.
No, you went hunting with Caitlin before me. I'm a little pissed off about that.
The one time, but that was about it. I'm more of a solo hunter myself, so that's probably
why. You need to come waterfowl hunting. You're wrong. If you say you hate waterfowl hunting, you're wrong. That's all I got to say is you're wrong.
Never done it. I can't say I hate it because I've never done it. Well, but fishing is how I've always kind of known you or associated you with like fishing. I always thought I was pretty lucky fishing until I met you. And I have actually, since I have been fishing with you, I have absolutely sucked at fishing. And you keep pulling up the big ones.
So That's not true. Remember when we went for trout opener and you were the only one that caught that beautiful brown trout?
Oh, that's true. That was the exception.
Yeah, I mean, how many times have we fished together? And that was the one time, and it was just the most. I think
probably the last time I actually caught anything worth keeping.
Yeah, and God love you. You didn't know how to clean it either. I had to teach you how to do that.
No, I'm terrible at cleaning them. So this is why I have you. But like,
I was gonna say that's why you want to hang out with me.
Like, we like having you around because you do the dirty work. But what's like your secret to catching big fish? Because clearly I'm not doing very well at this.
It's really not. There's no secret. I mean, realistically, part of it with our back lakes that we have up here and stuff like that, a lot of it, I mean, I wouldn't say it's luck, but it's yeah, I guess I have a horseshoe up my ass. But I mean, unlike you guys, I mean, I love fishing with you guys, but you guys switch your lures and everything so much. You haven't even give things a chance before you're like, I'm switching. Where, I mean, like bass, all I run for bass is the mini sticks, True North Baits mini sticks, and you've seen me catch monster bass on those things.
Insane.
Yeah.
It's, Caitlin and I are sitting in the kayak and we're getting absolutely nothing. And you're sitting over there hauling up these absolute dinosaur fish. It's like, what the heck?
And I mean, a lot of it too comes down to is you have to know, like, so again, True North Baits, an amazing company. I love their plastics. I'm on their team. I will only ever use their plastics, but learning how to like utilize them. Like anybody can throw a worm on a hook in the water, but like to be able to like, because certain plastics you have to like jig them a certain way or like move them like to catch the fish. Like you have to be able to work it properly.
Mm-hmm.
So I, through a lot of practice, like before I started fishing with you guys a lot hardcore, there was a lot of times where I was just sitting on a lake or sitting on like just by myself trying to like figure this science out, like how to like work like these stoddy sticks or the mini sticks or how to work his rippers. And then he's got these Ned craws. Like you have to learn how each one works. And I mean YouTube videos. True North Baits has their YouTube videos. They're awesome. So yeah, some of it's luck, but I mean, I swear by the mini sticks, the bright pink, bright green, like neon blue, all that stuff. I swear by those. And I mean, Caitlin and you can say I have a horseshoe up my butt, but it is a lot of it is like they love that color and they just I don't know, like I don't know. I mean, Caitlin had more luck ice fishing last year than I did. Like she's the one that caught the bass through the ice.
Is a first for her.
On a mayfly, on a True North Baits mayfly, I might add. Like the little thing like that big, she caught it on. So that was but I mean, again, yeah, like you just have to know your tackle. Like be like again, you guys switch your tackle so much.
Guilty.
Don't like just give it a chance. Like 3 casts, okay, cool. I could sit there like for 6 hours and cast the same thing.
Yeah.
And it's knowing your tackle, knowing your colors, knowing again like the water, the reflection, is the water murky, like what colors you use there, like again if you're using top water, like where you are, like it's just kind of a lot of studying. And I mean, I'm a loser. I totally admit that I'm a loser, and I will study like the lakes that we're going to. I will look at the depth, the temperature, like what's been caught there, what's caught on there, like what lures have they been using, what like I'm such a loser when it comes to fishing, like truly am. I do my research. Like before we went to Erin Lake, I had like a full out page of like best time to catch, like what's been caught there, what they caught it on, water temperatures, water depth, where around there. Like I'm that loser.
And then the rest of us just show up and fish.
Yeah, I mean, like do your homework. That's really do your homework, know your baits. Again, like I'm a True North baits fanatic. I have nothing bad to say about their baits. Their plastics are
and you don't the stuff like when I picked you up and took you on the Bruce County Bridge tour, you caught that massive pike. Like
yep.
that
on a beast True North Baits mini swagger.
On a mini swagger, and yep. Like we have video evidence of this, of you pulling this monster out, and it was like even give you time to study what that river was. What I'm like, just let's go throw our rod, the lures in some off a bridge, and let's see what we catch. And yeah, of course, in true Nicole fashion, you're the only one that caught anything.
Well, I mean, it was funny because that's when like I first moved up here too. I don't even think I had started working yet. I was like, I'm bored. I hadn't officially like started working. I was still in the process of moving. I was like, let's just go fishing because I'm bored. I don't know what to do.
Let's go.
And I was like, I looked at the water color and the depth, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna throw this in, see what happens.
And sure enough,
boom. And I mean, like again, like weather dependent. Like again, I am the loser. That's like, okay, so we've caught a ton, or I've caught a ton when this is the weather out, and I make note of that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm just okay. So it was a little bit rainy out that day. I'm like, okay, cool. Like I caught a big pike, and then me, LA, and Caitlin. Really, Holly? me, LA, and Caitlin went out like a week later, and it was blue skies, and we got nothing.
Yeah, I remember that you guys got out and
it was beautiful. Beautiful night, like blue skies, hot, like, and we got nothing. So it's like, okay, like.
And the day we went out, it was cold and raining and disgusting out.
Yep.
And hot stuff. Hot stuff.
So like, really, that's it's not really a secret. It's just like, do your research, do your homework, and have like a good like knowledge of your own tackle.
Yeah.
Like, just have knowledge of your tackle. Know what's in your tackle box. Know how to use what's in your tackle box.
And you've been a True North baits girl. I know that because when I open your tackle box, I'm like, oh, look at this. Look at all of this.
Yeah. I stumbled upon True North baits a couple of years ago, and I've been hardcore them ever since. I fished with Nikki for one weekend, and that's actually where I caught my personal best smallmouth on a mini stick, True North baits mini stick. It's hanging in my room. But I met Nikki and started connecting with Jamie. Me it's funny. Me and Jamie only met for the first time, like in person, last weekend at the ice fishing show.
Yeah.
Last weekend or the weekend before, whatever the ice fishing show was. But I've been on Team True North Baits for like 2 years now, whenever it was. Like, I've been repping them, and me and him only met like for the first time in person. And I've talked to him like probably weekly for the past 2 years. And I mean, like, when I say like this bait company is awesome. Like, they will just do custom stuff for you. There's been times where I messaged Jamie and I'm like, hey Jamie, I have an idea. What do you think of this? And then like a week later, it's in my mailbox. And I'm like, okay, like his colors, like the custom colors, like, again, like that's I've come to him on the off season. I'm like, okay, I have this idea for ice fishing, and it's like a lull in between his busy season, like when he's not doing like a show or something like that. Obviously, if he's busy with the Ultimate Ice Fishing Show or the Sportsman Show, that's going to be different. But he, like, usually a True North Baits order is in my mailbox like within a week. So, and even if that's like straight up custom, like I'm like, I want these colors, he's pretty good. So if you're looking for some good plastics for ice fishing season coming up, his mayflies, like, we got you a bunch at the Sportsman Show.
I'm very excited to try my new lures out.
Yeah, those did well for us last year. So I mean, his plastics, like True North Baits plastics, that's I got nothing but amazing things to say about it. If you haven't tried them, try them. That's all I gotta say.
I have tried. I think we got the kitty kit for the kids the one year.
Yes, I got you that.
Yeah.
I got you guys that. Yeah.
I did catch some stuff on that, so that was exciting. But I'm really excited to try these new ones that you guys got for me for this year. So
yeah, the mayflies for perch.
Water.
Yeah. 100%. Anyway, that was a tangent away from myself. I went and talked about something else, and I plan on having Nikki from True North Baits on here. So
let's get back to it. Where did the idea for this podcast, Canadian Women of the Outdoors, all that sort of stuff, where did it come from?
Oh, well, that was a lot of straight up a lot of ADHD brain. I'm the first person to admit my brain spirals and goes 50 different directions at once, and you've been privy to that. But so with my drive to work and with the environment I work in now, I'm able to, I get more time to listen to music or what have you in the morning, and B, like, we're actually allowed to like either listen to music or have a headphone in our ear at work, which is vastly different than when I was working in the city. You weren't allowed music, you weren't allowed nothing. Like, it was like safety or whatever and what have you. But yeah, you country folk are different up here. Yeah. So I kind of like started getting bored of listening to music. So I started, I mean, I've always been interested in like the Punisher podcast, which I'm sure you've heard. But I started listening to a bunch of other podcasts, and I like, the more I started listening, the more I was like, there's kind of like, Yes, they have like there's one in the States, I think the Woman Angler, and then Her Outdoors, I think that's still based in the States. There wasn't a lot of Canadian based female, like geared towards women podcasts. And I mean, we have a lot of amazing badass women up here in Canada that don't get enough recognition that I think we should. And it was one of those things where I was like, well, why can't I be the one to do it? I mean, I like to talk to people like over a camera, not huge crowds, but I like to talk to people like one on one. And like, I'm pretty, like one on one, I'm pretty outgoing. So, like, why don't I start this? So, I think around July is when I started jotting down and coming up with this brainchild. And God bless Caitlin. Like, I'd be like, it would be like 11 at night and we'd be lying in bed and I'd be like, oh, babe, I have an idea. And she'd be like, Nicole, just write it down and then we'll talk in the morning. Like, she has put up with so much over the past few months with me just all of a sudden like talking about one thing and I'll be like, oh, there's an idea for that. And then she just kind of directs me nicely to like write it down. She's like, we'll talk about it later. Like, you're on one task, focus on that task, like, and then just jot that down. So like, props to her for kind of helping me finally like focus 100% and like gather all my thoughts together and put it all into here it is now. So I mean, it took months and I did all my research. Like, I figured out what platform I was going to use, how I was going to present it, with the podcast, with YouTube. There's a website getting worked on right now that my sister is actually like, my sister is a big techie nerd type thing. So she's like, get the website going. So we're working on that currently. But yeah, it was more so like, I just wanted to introduce like, and get to like more badass Canadian women out there and kind of focus on us, like, because we're Canadian and we're awesome. And we like hunting and fishing in Canada is so different than the States. Like, I don't know if you heard or listened to the episode where I had Emma from Utah on. Holly, really? My hound dog has the zoomies. The episode that Emma from Utah was on, she came up for the Punisher hunt. Really, Holly? Apparently, Holly has the zoomies with my husky right now. The hound has the zoomies with the huskies, and now she's decided to do it. Anywho's, so Emma, she came up to Canada for a hunt, and she was thinking she needed to bring waders because she's only ever waterfowled from the marsh. Whereas up here, I personally have only ever waterfowled from a field. Like, I can count on one hand how many times I've actually needed waders or anything like that. So it's so different. So I was like, we need to kind of bring more of that, especially like our lakes and our fishing. Like, it's so different.
It's very different. And I mean, even within Canada, it's very different.
It is like, you got the Rockies, the prairies, Ontario,
everything in between, even to the East Coast. Like, you know, it's wild how vastly different hunting and fishing can be within our country and even within Ontario. Like, ice fishing here versus going north to do our ice fishing is similar, but it is different. So
we're lucky to have ice here half the time.
Yeah.
But then you go like super north and like we go to Nipissing, it's got like 3 feet ice.
Yeah. It's wild. So, absolutely wild.
Yeah.
Where do you see this podcast going? Like, where do you want it to go in the future?
I mean, I have ideas. I have quite the lineup of guests over the next few months. I'm kind of like tapped out for guests for a little bit. Like, because I'm just trying to focus, like, I'm trying to get through December. And of course, the dog's going crazy now. I'm trying to get through December and the holidays and Christmas, and then going to kind of focus in the new year on where like the guests are going to go. Eventually, though, I kind of want to, like with the website. So I want to put like my own, like, because I'm sure you've seen my social media with the cooking and that kind of stuff. So I'd eventually like to put some recipes on there. I'd also like to give the opportunity for like with the YouTube side of things, like maybe women submit their own hunting and fishing videos that they've made over a course of a weekend, hunt or fish, that I can upload and be like, oh, so and so did this weekend. This is an awesome Canadian woman of the outdoors. Here's like a 15-20 minute clip of something she's done. Or like people submit their recipes and like I cook them and make a video of that. And like I just really want to promote and highlight how awesome we are, so to speak. Like it's like, and there's so many of us. There's so many of us, and like yes, we have Instagram and stuff like that, but how many of us are actually sitting down and talking about like go us?
Yeah.
Like we take pictures, stuff like that, but like how many of us are like, yeah, I'm awesome.
Yeah.
Hear me roar. So
and it brings more awareness.
Well, and that's it too.
Because even like walking through a store, walking down the street, whatever, you'd never walking past people you wouldn't know she's a hunter or, you know, into fishing or whatever. But the more you expose people and are like, hey, so and so's featured on my thing. So and so has the 15-minute clip saying, this is what I did this week. Hey, I know you. I saw you. Let's go fishing sometime together and make more memories.
Yeah. And I mean, that's exactly like it kind of started as like, I want to connect and bring these women together. And now like me and Caitlin are planning, we're going up to Kirkland Lake in February to do a fish with Shauna Lee. I had Dom on here like the other week, and now we're going to be doing a fish up in Temagami. Like it's awesome to connect with these amazing humans. And I hope also maybe women didn't know that like someone like Canadian Sportswomen's Society existed.
Yeah.
If they're new to hunting and fishing, maybe they didn't know Canadian Sportswomen's Society existed. They listen to that, they sign up, and it's cool. Cool. Now they're hunting fishing with us. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. I'm hoping this like keeps growing, because so far it went from those little chats we would have while fishing or while we were out with each other. I want to do this podcast, and now it's exploded to this, and it's so amazing to see.
and when you say it exploded, like I was not expecting the feedback and the support and everything that has happened. I was like, oh, okay. Awesome. And I mean, it's just as we go along, it just keeps growing. And I'm like, I did not expect this, but here we go.
It's snowballing in the best sense of the word. It's amazing.
Saddle up. Let's go.
As Lorianne says, hang on to your hang-ons. Let's go.
Yeah. Hang on to your hang-ons. Yeah.
We got to talk about the pineapple shorts. We got to talk about the pineapple shorts.
Yeah, the shorts, eh?
Iconic pineapple shorts. Where did what started this? I've only ever known you in these pineapple shorts. The amount of pictures I have of you in pineapple shorts.
What is it? It's the one pair too. It's not even. It's one pair. When I post this, I'm gonna have to post a picture of this so people know what they're talking about. How did that start? I don't even know. It was like the summer of 21 or something like that, and I got really hooked on these swim trunks that are now the iconic pineapple shorts that I bought. And I bought them and I started wearing them, and everyone's like, well, you're a swinger. I was like, no, that's not actually it. Because I know that pineapples, well, actually, I started doing more research. Pineapples actually, if they're right side up, if you're a swinger, they're right side down. If you're not, they're right side up. They mean like hospitality and like welcome and like we're gonna cook for you. And that was always a huge thing for me. Like you're always welcome in my home. I'm gonna cook for you. I'm gonna tell you stories. So I was like, well, yeah, that's me. So I started wearing these shorts, and actually, like it all started. I posted a picture of me wearing these shorts on my social media, and I had just made a turkey fan mount. I had done my woodworking, like, because I do the woodworking thing too. I had posted a picture, and I wasn't even thinking that I was wearing the shorts. I was just like, yay, here's this turkey fan mount, not really realizing what I was wearing. And they blew up. People were like, oh my God, those shorts. that style, like, love it. And I was like, really? So then I just kind of rolled with it. There was another picture a few months later, ice fishing. I was like, I'm gonna wear these shorts and I'm gonna take a picture of me on the ice in these shorts. And again, they're like, oh my God, this style, like this is just too funny. And like so many people commented, I was like, well, we're just going to roll with this now. People seem to love the pineapple shorts, so they're just going to come along as travel companions. I think more people like the shorts than they like me, but hey, that's just, and they're dying too. I'm going to need to get a new pair.
I know. The last time I saw you in them, there were several holes.
Yeah. And I need to find a pair of like the exact same and just like retire them and then get the new one. And then like those need to go up on the wall as well. Like,
we'll frame the OG shorts.
The OG, yeah, but I need like so, and even like so last year at the Sportsman Show, Shauna Lee, who I had never met before, and she was on stage doing a presentation, and I'm sitting there, and then all of a sudden she mentions like Nicole and these pineapple shorts, and I'm looking around, and I'm like, oh, she's talking about me. And I'm like, I have never met this woman before in my life until today, and she gets up on stage and she mentions these pineapple shorts. I was like, I made it.
I'm famous now.
I made it because of pineapple shorts. And I mean, you know how tropical like everything is in my life. Like all the hounds got zoomies again. So yeah, I just kind of it snowballed from there, and it has become iconic.
It's become a thing.
Well, so again, we were talking. So me and Caitlin are going up to Shauna Lee in Kirkland Lake. She's like, "How are you going to wear the shorts in -50?" I was like, "I'm gonna wear them for a picture, and then probably put my pants back on, just for the picture, just to say I did it." They traveled to Kirkland Lake, like because it's more so now at the point where it's like the Snackle Box. We travel.
We do.
Like it's like, okay, the pineapple shorts have been here, and here. Like it's kind of like they've traveled now. They've seen the world, or they've seen Ontario. We'll go with they've seen Ontario.
Do you need to get you a pair of replacement ones, because I'm afraid those ones may not last that much longer given the condition they're in.
Yeah, they're pretty. They lasted good for a bit, and then all of a sudden, when I really started wearing them all the time, they went rough real quick. I just gotta they have to have the sunglasses though. That's the thing. They have to have the sunglasses.
Because I think I have found you. I found you a pair and sent you a picture, but they weren't the same.
No. So, and you also made Chrissy crocheted me a pineapple to put in my truck.
Yeah,
it's legit a thing. The pineapple and me it's a thing.
This is a thing. That made me laugh when when I was laid up with my broken leg. Hey, can you crochet me a pineapple? I'm like, yeah.
And I was joking. The best part is I was 100%. I was like, you want to crochet me a pineapple? Like, ha 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 ha. Next thing I know, your pineapple's ready. Come pick it up. And I'm like, what?
Later.
I'm like, okay.
And it's been hanging in your truck ever since.
Yep. A lot of people are like, what's that in your truck? I'm like, it's a crocheted pineapple. Don't ask. just don't ask. Friend made it for me.
Speaking of pineapples, your love of cooking, because you and Steve Horst, I would eat anything you two put in front of me. The pulled goose nachos we had at the cottage, the barbecues, the jambalaya we had on our girls' weekend. Oh my God! I drool. I dream of the food. So love of cooking.
You won't go hungry with either of us around. I'll tell you that.
Right.
May 2 for a weekend, you're leaving with 10 extra pounds.
Oh, absolutely. I will never be skinny around you guys, and I'm okay with it.
No. That's yeah. Caitlin loves that I moved in because I cook all this yummy food.
So who taught you to cook? Where did this passion come from?
So grandma, my babcia, I am Polish, and I grew up with my grandma, who actually, her and my grandfather, before he passed, they actually owned a Polish deli in Hamilton. If he hadn't passed, I probably would have been a butcher by trade, because that was something that he, like, when he found out I was, my mom was pregnant with me, he was all like, yes, cool, awesome, somebody to take over, like, first grandchild, eldest, like, let's do this. So, and then he passed away, sadly, like a month or so before I was born. But grandma still did catering out of her house. And I spent a lot of time with my grandmother as until I was like 6, 7 years old. And a lot of my memories are cooking, helping her make pierogies. We did homemade kielbasa. We did so much Eastern European food, like rouladen. So she taught me all these amazing foods. She tried to teach me how to bake, but baking is too exact for me. She was a great baker. I personally don't have the patience for baking. I'm like, it's too exact.
You measure stuff with your heart when you're baking. Because I'm a baker. I bake. I don't do it very often, but I do. I enjoy baking, but it's an exact measurement type thing. Whereas cooking, you measure with your heart.
I have no desire to like sit there and be like, okay, that's the right amount of flour. I'm like, garlic and more garlic and extra garlic. Like I'm like, yeah, there's no measurements in cooking with me. It's just kind of like, yeah, we feel that with our soul. So she was a great baker. And I mean, some recipes like pierogies and stuff like that, yes, you do have to be a little bit more exact, but filling and stuff like that, you don't. And you can put a wild game spin on a lot of Eastern European food. Like the other night, I'm sure you saw that I made, Caitlin and myself, moose. We had moose steaks, so I flattened them out, cut them, butterflied them, flattened them out, and made moose rouladen, which was absolutely delicious. We smoked on the Traeger. So the next thing I actually want to do is I believe we still have some ground moose. I would like to try and do like a moose pork mixture and do like some cabbage rolls and stuff like that. Like you can do so much, especially Eastern European. Like it's so easy to throw and like a wild game spin on that. But she's definitely like all my memories of her in the kitchen. Like me and her in the kitchen, even if it's doing dishes. She never let me handle the glass though, because I would drop it and break it. It was like forks and stuff like that I couldn't break. But yeah, she bought me my first cookbook, which I still have. She started when I was young what she called a hopeless chest. To when I moved out, it was a bunch of kitchen stuff. She basically stocked my kitchen. I still have stuff that she got me for from this hopeless chest, and she's passed now. But a lot of like all my cooking stuff, all my cooking memories, all my cooking ideas, a lot of it, she's always in the back of my mind when I do it. It's all grandma.
Oh, grandmas are the best.
Grandmas are the best. I mean, I miss her like crazy. I wish if I told her what I was doing now, she'd probably be like, "Oh my goodness, like why don't you just open your restaurant already?"
This wouldn't be a podcast. This would be a Cooking with Nona show.
No, not Nona, babcia. I'm not Italian. I'm not Italian. I mean, I love Italian cuisine, but like the gluten in the pasta murders my soul. So
that doesn't work well with you, does it? So
no, we got to do gluten free, unfortunately.
Nana's, grandma's, I can't even say it. Babcia. Nona's. What else? What else have we got? Other grandmothers. All grandmothers are the best.
Mama.
Yeah, Mima.
Yeah, because I mean, you know how I love my southern cuisine, my jambalayas, my gumbos. You know, you gotta get a Mima in there. I keep saying so. My sister, her husband's American, and I keep joking around, like, because they have my nephew, they have a son, Waylon, and I keep joking that my mom was like, "Mom, you're gonna be a Mima," and she's like, "No, I'm not," and I'm like, "Oh yeah, you're gonna be a Mima."
Southern, I want to be a Mima.
Yeah, it's fun, right? Mimas are fun. Mimas is just a fun thing to say.
Oh, that's awesome. Favorite foods? Tell me your favorite foods. What's your favorite food?
My personal favorite food that I like to cook or that I like to eat, or both? Or
both.
My favorite food that I like to cook. So I am a fan of cooking like really hardcore meals, like the ones that take you like 3 courses. Like, so if I were to cook, like cater a meal, if you were to come up and be like, Nicole, I'm having people over, can you cater a meal? I would probably do something like a lobster or shrimp risotto, with like a venison tenderloin, like a venison Wellington,
Oh, that sounds
and
so good.
then dessert because I'm not a dessert person, but I would probably like kind of dribble through like a lava cake or something like that. Like I'm really a fan of cooking complicated stuff. Like I like the challenge of cooking complicated stuff. But if you were to ask me like what's your favorite thing to eat? Soup, stew. Like give me a chili, give me like a rabbit and dumpling stew, or I'm a big soup and stew person, especially like in the winter and stuff like that. Like I'm super simple. Like I would love to muck down a bowl of a hearty stew, chili, soup, whatever it is. Like I'm pretty basic that way. It's really funny. I love to cook complicated, but I love to eat easy.
But soups and stews aren't even complicated necessarily. So,
No, and it's funny. Like, so I just what I like to eat. Like I love to eat soups and stews. It's my favorite thing. Like the rabbit and dumplings, probably one of my favorite things. Um, my triple B chili, the beer, bourbon, and bacon chili that I do.
oh God.
Um, that's probably again a comfort food. I love it. But if I have to cook, like if I had to cook for a crowd of people, like I'm not making a big bowl of chili. I'm doing the most complicated thing, and like I went to cooking school. I want to show off my talent. So
Fair
I
enough. I
just
appreciate it because I never, ever, ever leave hanging out with you hungry, ever. So,
no, you guys ate a lot of that jambalaya.
God, it was so good though.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, because here I am, like, I was like, oh no, we'll have enough to keep it for lunch. And I think we had 2 helpings left at the
That
end of
was
the
it.
weekend. And I was
Between all,
like,
like,
and
just,
like that was a big pot of smoked jambalaya, and you guys mucked that.
it was so good. So good.
Yeah. Yeah. We're making gumbo next at some point.
Oh, can't wait.
Yeah. Doing a big pot of gumbo at some point.
Oh, we got to do that.
Oh, absolutely.
Do that. We should get some sausages smoking and oh my God, what else? All the foods. All the
There will be
foods.
a lot of things. Like May 2 for this year, look out.
God.
Now that my smoker's up here and stuff, look out.
You'd appreciate this. I made dill pickle soup the other day. It is my specialty.
Dill pickle soup.
Dill pickle soup. No wild
Interesting.
pickle, unfortunately, but dill pickle soup. Um, I'm surprised you, being Polish, haven't had dill pickle soup.
I'm a hit or miss with pickles. So
Ah,
I can eat pickles, and I like they're in roulade and stuff like that, and I do love pickles.
but you've had pickles.
The dill pickle pasta salad you make,
Yeah,
I don't know if I could do it in soup though. I might have to
it,
try it though.
it's potato based. You'll be fine.
Oh, well, anything potato. Hello, Polish.
You'll be fine.
Vodka, potatoes. Hello.
You'll be okay.
That will be fine.
Where, if you could go anywhere to hunt, fish, all that, where would be like your dream
Yukon.
place? You want to go to Yukon?
I would, if someone asked me tomorrow, they're like, hey, Nicole, here's whatever. You have a spot in the Yukon. Take Caitlin and the kids. It's yours to live in. I'd be like, pack up, let's go. I mean, it's a lot of trout out there, but I love trout. But I would move to the Yukon in a heartbeat.
Mm.
I've never even been there, but I'm one of those weirdos that do all the research. I like it's not even so much the hunting and the fishing, it's just the being in like the nature, like just having a cabin in the woods. Like getting to wake up and looking out your back porch and all you're seeing is just woods and trees and maybe hearing like a little creek flowing and like I don't need to hunt or fish. I just need to wake up with a cup of coffee and sit on a porch swing and listen to that and hear some birds chirping and you're just like, yep, I'm home.
Yeah.
Like it's not so much like yeah, hunting and fishing is always a bonus, but I am one of those people like as much as I love you and all those other people like I would be like, see you guys, come visit me. And you like I as much I love you guys. I love you and Ty. My visits with you every couple weeks are guys awesome. Like I love LA and all them. Like you guys are all amazing friends and you guys are some of my best friends. But if I had the opportunity, I'd be gone and be like, y'all visit me.
I feel that in my soul because I'd be right behind you.
Yeah.
I would be right behind you.
Yeah. Maybe like I mean Yukon, yeah, but even if it was even in Northern Ontario, cool, whatever. Just like remote, off the grid, like have to chop wood, use a wood burning stove to heat your house type thing, like sign me up.
Yeah.
I live off the land, like you have like an actual garden that you have to harvest from and then you can and stuff like that because that's how you get through like the winter and you make your sauces and salsa and what have you and
yeah,
I don't know. So, it's just I would go as far north as possible. I hate concrete though. And it's funny because like I grew up in like the GTA. Like city is as city can be. Like the GTA. I went at one point I went to school in Toronto. I commuted to Toronto and city as can be. And I'm just like, no, I want nothing to do with that. I don't I'd never miss it. I miss my family, obviously. Like I miss my parents and grandparents, stuff like that. But there's never been, since I moved up here, there's never been like I need to go back to the city. Like I miss that busy, and like I would go farther north if I could. Like there's no doubt in my mind that
we're rural, but we're not like Northern Ontario rural. So
no, it's not north, but you're still we're Bruce Peninsula. It's still pretty. Like Elmwood doesn't even have a convenience store. Like we have to still drive 15 minutes to go get a carton of milk or a bag of milk because we're Canadian. Yeah. We have to go 15, 20 minutes to get a bag of milk or we don't have a gas station.
No, you guys literally have nothing there.
No. So, I mean, at least, yeah, in Mildmay, I mean, I've filled up at that gas station a time or two on the way home.
We have a gas station, liquor store, and a post office. We're set.
We just have a post office and an antique store. We have an antique store that's apparently closing, but we have an antique store. But yeah, like it's definitely it's a huge change from the city, but I don't ever look at my life and I'm like, no, I want to go back. No, I'd never do. I'm just like, yeah, no.
I feel that on a soul level. I absolutely
and you grew up here.
Yep. I grew up here, grew up on a farm. You know, we did the whole canning, foraging, more foraging than hunting and fishing. I fished a lot, but not. I'm like you, a late bloomer to hunting. So
that's why we gotta keep waterfowling.
Right? We do. We got to do that. So yeah. I feel that on a soul level. So,
and I mean, yeah, I 100%. If anybody's looking at moving from the city, do it. That's all I gotta say. Just do it.
Do it.
100%. Don't think. Just if you have an inkling to move from the city, move. Just don't even. You can find a spot. Do it.
Don't think twice about it. Just go for it.
Yep.
Yeah. So
is that what you got for me?
That's what I got for you.
I mean, we are hitting our hour mark anyway, so that seemed about right timing wise. So that's yeah, it's pretty good. So this is definitely a different. I don't think I've ever talked so much in an episode in my life. This was definitely a new one.
How did it feel sitting on the other side of things?
I don't know yet. I don't know. And I mean, I'm probably going to like rewatch this back and cringe because it's me talking so much. But I mean, I hope it's a valuable episode for people. Like, I mean, a few of you people asked for it. So hopefully you guys are the ones that enjoyed it.
Well, it's good to get the person behind something that's going to keep exploding the way it is in all the good sense.
I mean, I hope so. I think I've got 2 more episodes planned for the end of this year. I've got another guest, and then I'm doing the Bruce County Christmas special with you, Caitlin, and Lorianne, which will be quite the wild ride. Everybody suit up for that one. That will be a great little special. I'm trying to nail down a giveaway with that one, so that'll be pretty cool, like a nice Christmas giveaway. And that's the other thing, like, again, thank you guys, listeners, the businesses that have reached out for support and have offered like their product for giveaways and stuff like that. Like, I never expected to be at this point like, okay, I have Chili Moose doing a giveaway. There's a brand, Holland Brass, who does beautiful jewelry. She's reached out and is offered to do a giveaway. True North Baits is talking about also doing a giveaway with me. Like, everyone has just been so utterly amazing. You guys have been so welcoming to this, and the response has been absolutely incredible. I feel so blessed. I feel absolutely incredibly blessed to live this life, to be able to do this for you guys, and you guys have such a strong positive response to it, and it's just been amazing. And I can't wait to see, like, I have these plans and ideas, and I can't wait to see where they go, if they go anywhere, if they don't. But like, I have a feeling they are going to go anywhere or go somewhere if you guys keep asking for these things. So I don't know, you guys, like, Chris, you've been listening. Well, you've been there since the beginning with when I was like, hey, I had this idea.
And we were like, run, go, do it.
Yeah. You're like, yeah, you guys are like, well, yeah, you should do this. And then you guys dealt with all my like, okay, but what about this? Okay, but then this. Okay, but then this. Like, you guys were so patient with me, so supportive. And like, again, I couldn't be anywhere without the backbone of my partner. She's been the most amazing human being behind this to deal with me and all my crazy ideas. But then you guys, my friends, like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna do this. And then even when I was like, hey, Chris, they want to do this, can you be the one to do this? And you're like, yeah, I'll ask you questions, like, no hesitation. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I have such a great support system. I have such a great like, people behind me that, you know what, it's amazing. And I hope to continue doing this. So,
and we hope you continue to do this, because it's getting such phenomenal exposure to people, to encourage women, and like just anybody in general, not just women, but like people in general, to get outdoors and to enjoy what we have available to us. So, you know, even planting that tiny seed or that little spark in somebody that's like, you know, listening and hasn't made the jump yet, setting them up with, you know, like, oh, here, try True North Baits if you're going to go fishing. If you want to just get into it, Canadian Sportsman Society, you know, all of these people that are behind you and supporting and rooting, to get like the general public out there doing these sorts of things. Like, it's huge. Like, had somebody, you know, 20 years ago mentioned to me about a group of people that were supporting and hunting, I would have been into it a lot sooner, a heck of a lot sooner. So, you know, this is huge. So hopefully this keeps going.
Yeah, and it is funny because I've had people like reach out like, hey, I'm gonna sign up for this Canadian Sportsman Society event and stuff like that. I'm like, good, do it. Do it. Like, just get it. Like, this was the whole point. This is why I wanted to do this. So, and then like even Shauna Lee's first episode, the amount of positive feedback I had with that, like, it's just been so positive, and I personally want to keep going. I hope y'all want to keep going with me. Y'all are in this adventure with me together now, so we're gonna keep going.
We're gonna keep waves is what we're gonna keep doing. So
yeah,
let's keep going.
But anyway, we're about that hour mark. So thank you, Chrissy, for coming on and being my host, which is so different. I hope I didn't embarrass myself too much. I'll probably, like I said, I'll probably re-listen to this and cringe, but the whole point is it's live, it's unedited to a certain extent. Everything will be in there, but I just might edit like sound so I sound okay. So again, I hope you guys enjoyed it. We've got a couple more episodes for the year. We will be doing a Bruce County Christmas special featuring these two lovely ladies on the screen right now, plus Miss Caitlin and Miss Lorianne Horse. So that make sure you guys stay tuned for that because that'll be a fun one.
Yep.
Buckle up. That's going to be a fun one. So yeah, again, thank you guys so much for listening, and we'll see you guys next episode. Thanks, Chrissy.
Thanks.